What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Josiah back here for another video. In today's video we're doing something a little different. We got a tutorial for you all, but we're filming this one indoors because it is quite wet outside. Haven't been able to get out and ride lately. Hopefully we'll be back to the riding vid soon, but the weather just needs to cooperate. But for today's video we're going to be teaching you all how to learn a new BMX trick. No matter what skill level you're at, I think this video is going to help you out. It's going to help you learn new tricks. I'm going to be showing you all 7 steps I think we got. I know it's kind of a random number, but that's just what it worked out to. So 7 steps to learn a new BMX trick. This is kind of the process that I go through every single time I want to learn a new trick. Alright, we're going to jump right into this one with step number 1. And step 1, when choosing a new BMX trick to learn, you need to make sure that you're choosing a trick that's well within your skill level. You're going to kind of have to use some common sense with this one. If you're a complete beginner, first day on a bike, you're obviously not going to want to go out and learn how to bar spin or how to tail whip. As another example, if you want to learn how to 3-whip, but you don't know how to tail whip, that's probably not going to be the best option. You should learn how to tail whip, get them dialed, learn how to 360, get those dialed before going on and learning how to 3-whip. Those tricks might be a goal of yours, but if you go out and try those with no experience on the bike, it's going to be really discouraging. You could get hurt and it's going to just be really frustrating, and it might turn you away from bikes in general. So just make sure you're choosing a trick that's within your skill level. Use common sense. If you need help choosing a trick or understanding what might be within your skill level, feel free to drop it below in the comments. I'd be happy to help you all. So for step 2, you need to learn the proper technique. And what I mean by that is you should have a good understanding of how the trick is done before you even attempt the trick. So to do this, you can go out and watch tutorials. Those are usually really helpful. Or you can even just watch someone do the trick and pay attention to how they do it. Pay attention to their technique, pay attention to all the steps that they take to complete that trick. You should have a pretty good understanding of at least how the trick is done before going out and attempting it. On to step 3, you want to make sure that you have a good setup for the trick that you want to do. There's kind of 3 things to keep in mind when choosing a good setup, a good ramp, a good location. One of those things is you need to make sure that the setup is big enough to allow you to do what you want to do comfortably. So for example, if you want to learn how to 3-whip, you probably don't want to try it out of a small bank. You probably want to have a fly out because that's going to give you more time to do the trick. And then 2, you also don't want to have something that's too big. We'll take the 3-whip again. You probably don't want to take it over a huge dirt jump double, for example. That's just too much to worry about. You want to be able to just focus on doing the trick. Third, you want to choose a setup that you feel comfortable on, and you want to choose a setup that you feel safe on. So flyouts are usually a great option. Maybe a mulch pile or something like that, grass, foam pits or airbags if you have access to that. Alright, so step 4, once you've chosen a trick that's within your skill level, once you've learned how the trick is done by watching someone else do it, and once you find a good place to try the trick, you need to make sure that you have confidence going into it. For this, I recommend, having a group of friends with you, hyping you up. You can play some music. And most importantly, this really helps me, is wear a helmet and put pads on. Some people still think that pads and helmets aren't cool, but trust me, they are cool, because not only do they keep you safe and allow you to keep trying the trick even if you crash in most cases, they really give you a lot more confidence. I used to not wear shin and knee pads, but ever since I started doing that, I felt way more comfortable trying tail whips and taking my feet off the bike in general. So pad up, put a helmet on. It's going to really give you a lot more confidence, and you're going to be more likely to commit to the trick with pads on. Step 5, once you're ready to try the trick, you need to either build up to it or commit completely depending on what trick you're trying. So for example, a backflip, you need to commit 100%. There's really no building up to it. But for other tricks, you can build up to it. For example, an X-up, you can start by just tweaking your bars a little bit, try to get it a little bit more and more clicked until you're actually doing the trick properly. And then take a bar spin, for example. You can practice out on flat ground, get the bars around, but then once it's time to actually jump and do the trick, you need to commit 100%. So depending on what you're doing, you either need to commit completely or build up to the trick. So I said you need to commit 100%. I realize that can be really difficult to do. I've dealt with it myself. Sometimes there's just a mental block, and no matter how bad you want to try the trick, it's just there's something in your mind that doesn't allow you to commit. So if you guys would like a full video on how to overcome that mental block or how to commit to a trick, let me know and I can make a full video on it. But for now, we're going to move on to the next step. All right, so step 6, once you've tried the trick a few times, odds are you're either struggling to land it or you're doing the trick really sketchy. So at this point, you need to go back and you need to change your technique. You need to find out what you're doing wrong and you need to change it. This can be really hard to do. It's really hard to break bad habits, but the earlier you break those habits, the better off you're going to be in the long run. So to improve your technique, I recommend recording yourself and watching it back, because usually when you do this, you can see what you're doing wrong. You can also have a friend that knows how to do the trick help you out, give you some pointers, but it's just really important to try to get your technique as dialed as possible. Even if you're landing the trick, again, there's probably something you can improve on. The earlier you can recognize what you're doing wrong and improve upon it, the better off you're going to be in the long run. I know how hard it can be to break bad habits when trying a new trick. If you guys want a full-length video on that, let me know. I can make it happen. Alright, so step 7 is be persistent. If you're struggling to land the trick, keep trying it over and over again. Go back to step 6, keep adjusting your technique, keep trying the trick, because that's the only way you're going to be able to land it. Even if you're landing the trick, you still need to keep trying it over and over again and working on your technique, because repetition is going to allow you to get the trick dialed. So you're probably going to be bouncing between steps 6 and 7 for a while. That's okay. That's part of the process. It takes time to learn a new trick. Once you do feel comfortable with the trick, you can start doing it on other setups. You can start trying combos, or you can move on to a bigger and better trick. I hope you all can use this information to go out and learn new tricks efficiently. I think all BMX riders go through this same process. Maybe they have their own version of it, but this is basically what it boils down to every time someone goes out and learns a new trick. So that's going to be it for this one. I hope you all enjoy. Let me know what you think of my tips and drop your own tips in the comments below. Let's all help each other out. Let's all help each other progress and learn new tricks on our bikes. Please make sure to drop me a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're approaching 1,000 subs. Be really awesome if we can get that done here soon. Also, drop me a comment and let me know what other tutorials you might want to see. The weather's been pretty rough lately, and it's probably going to stay that way for a while. So if I can help you guys out by filming tutorial videos, that'd be awesome. I'm down for it. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.